Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
Rockin' 101, 951. Look who it is. Kevin Nealon. Thanks for coming back to the Johnny Rock Show. How are you this morning, sir?
Hi, I'm doing great, Johnny. Thanks for having me. I'm sitting here in my house in Los Angeles, and it is kind of gray and raining outside. Can you believe that, Los Angeles?
Well, come on to St. Cloud. We'd love to have you sit through the winter once in a while. Well, your new book,
yeah.
I exaggerate. My Brushes with Fame. Now, I didn't know that you were such an artist. I've been waiting on the book, the actual book, but I've seen online these caricatures, and they are unbelievable. How did you get started making caricatures?
Oh, thanks, John. I'm glad you like it. I started drawing when I was a kid, but it was nothing, any kind of a direction to it. It's mostly doodling and, drawing those letters with shadows behind it. And as I got into high school and grammar school, I started drawing in the margins of my paper because I was bored with school. And then I would draw comics, on stage, and I would draw them, and they would love them, and they were just on a napkin, and sometimes it didn't even look like them, but they wanted to keep it. And then I started drawing caricatures at Saturday Night Live during the table read, where we're reading through all the sketches that might be on that following Saturday, and some sketches I wasn't in. So I would sketch whomever was sitting across from me, whether it was Chris Farley or Dana Carvey or Jan Hooks or the host or Lorne Michaels, the creator. And again, I still didn't really totally commit to it. And when I'm on airplanes, I used to sketch the passengers next to me when they were sleeping. I never showed it to them. And also, Johnny, I went through a bout of claustrophobia, and I was terrified because I was stuck in New York City, and I had to go through these long tunnels to get out of there mostly. And then if I got stuck on an airplane on the tarmac, I'd get anxious. So when I took out a sketch pad, it just took away all those worries. I just escaped into that sketch pad, and the rest of the world didn't matter.
Well, like I said, it's we're speaking with Kevin Nealon, and I'll tell you what, it's you're a very humble guy because it's pretty amazing. I mean, that one of Johnny Carson where he's blowing smoke out his mouth, and if you watch Johnny Carson back in the day, it was the thing. Kids, you're too young, but there was a time when the talk show hosts all smoked and the guests smoked, and they were all smoking. I mean, it's crazy. So does it just?
Well, you got to remember, Johnny, that was back in the 1900s,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
And and Johnny didn't smoke on camera. He would take a couple of big drags during commercial, and then when they came back for the the next 2 minutes or so, I could see the smokes, the remnant of the smoke coming out. I could smell it.
Well, and I just watched a clip where Don Rickles broke his cigarette case. And it was a whole bit the next night. He came back and the cigarette case was broken, and they went into a CPO Sharky's taping across the hall. I don't know if it was set up or what, but what a different era. Yeah. That's insane. Any personal favorites in the book that you like to point out?
Oh, man, there's so many. Each one of these, Johnny, it's really been a labor of love because it takes me a long time to paint each one. I like the Steve Martin one. I like the Christopher Walken. I like the Jennifer Aniston one. Do you know, when I first moved to New York City, and what happens in this book is I have an accompanying anecdote for each caricature painting, and I tell a story about my interaction with those people, if I had any. Otherwise, just my musings with them if they were, passed away. So I used to go into this hamburger place in New York when I first moved to New York to do Saturday Night Live. It was on the Upper West Side. And there was this really cute hostess working the door and seating people. And a lot of times I would just go to look at her. I wasn't hungry. And it turned out to be Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did she?
And so that's the story I relate in the book about her.
Did she remember you years later when she became famous?
No, she had no idea I was going in there.
How crazy.
I was very shy. I would just sit far away and just watch her flirt with waiters.
Well, check it out. I Exaggerate, My Brushes with Fame. Available now wherever you get your books, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold. Honestly, it's worth the adventure, because page by page, it is something. And it's something that you should be very proud of, sir.
Thanks, Johnny. I am. I put a lot of work into it, and I flip through it often myself, and I kind of revisit all these people and kind of relive my life with them. Chris Farley, Steve Martin, whomever.
Man. Well, here at the Johnny Rock Show, we end the show every day with Norm Macdonald and his the ending songs.
Yeah.
So today
Good Lord.
we'll play it for you, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
He's in the book too, by the way.
I know. It's unbelievable. Go get that book. Thank you, Kevin Nealon from the Johnny Rock Show, all right?
Thank you, Johnny Rock.
Thank you. And there he goes, the great Kevin Nealon. Here's what can you say? The guy's done it all and very humble and very talented.
The Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101. The Rock Station.